a better variety. K.T.I Radio 760.
Let's take a quick intermission for news.
During recent blizzards in eastern Colorado, coyotes became a scourge to maroon livestock and poultry. They were killers. Something had to be done, and it was, by air. Hunters take to the skies to stamp out the sharp-toothed menace. The roar of the engine drives the coyotes out of their lairs, and the shadow of doom is etched across the snowbound wastes. Death for the marauder. In 1 month alone, over 200 were killed, and their hides sold. It takes a nice shooting eye and nice piloting. Flying at this altitude is not exactly healthy, especially for the coyote. He'll slaughter no more cattle or chickens, and his skin will bring a nice profit to hunters who take the aerial route. That's quite a bag for a day's work. You might even say the fur has been flying.
K.T.I is a member of the American Century Broadcasting Network.
K.T.I Radio reminds you to take the fruits and vegetables from your victory garden to your local cannery. Cannery preserves are still very much needed in poverty-stricken Europe. You can make a difference.
Alico gas, please.
Right around the corner in your neighborhood, there's an Alico gas station, owned and operated by a member of your community. He's always ready to serve you with first-rate automotive gas and oil products. And you can rest assured knowing that Alico gasoline is the power that propels more police cars and fire engines than any other leading gasoline. Drive into your Alico station tomorrow and ask them to look under the hood and give your automobile the quality and experience that motorists trust. A smoother ride with no engine knock. Alico brand gasoline and Alico brand automotive oil. At your local Alico service station.
K.T.I Radio is a member of the ACB Network, American Century Broadcasting, broadcasting at 760 kilohertz. K.T.I reminds you a great job awaits you in the United States Army. Enlist now at your nearest U.S. Army recruiting station, starting salaries at $75 per month.
Charlie, are you thinking of college?
No, I'm still thinking of getting out of the 8th grade.
Yeah. Well, the trouble is with you, young man, you have no get up and go. Why don't you kindle the flame of ambition?
I'm sorry, Bergen. The pilot light's out.
Yeah.
Gee, I wish I was out of school. That's what I wish. I wish I had $1 million, too. That's what I wish.
That's a silly wish.
With things so high, I better make it $2 million.
Yeah. Say, that's a pretty girl dressed in that nurse's aide uniform. Do you know who she looks like?
Yeah. Why, you're right, Bergen. It's Jane Wyman. Yoo-hoo, Miss Wyman.
Hello, Edgar. Hello, Charlie.
Oh, Jane, what are you doing here?
Helping out as a nurse's aide.
Oh, well, roll up a bandage and tell us about it. Oh, you'd make a beautiful Florence Nightingale.
No.
Would you like to have me around when you're sick?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind having you around when I'm well, either.
Charlie, if you were my patient, I'd watch over you like a baby.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. What do you say to that?
Goo.
Oh, hello, Charlie and Edgar. What are you blighters babbling about?
We're talking to Jane Wyman.
Oh, how do you do, Miss Wyman? I see the most wizard thing just happened to me. It's just too wonderful.
Yeah, well, what are you so smug about?
Well, look here, Charlie. Look, I found this bottle.
A bottle?
Yeah, of course, there's no label on it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's Napoleon brandy.
Yeah, well, you'd better be a little careful. You know, in a hospital, it might be a bottle of ether.
Well, let's open it up and take a sniff.
Oh, boy, another minute and it would open itself. What'd you like?
Smells like vodka. What do you think, Miss Wyman?
Smells like fingernail polish.
Well, now it's my turn. I still say that's ether.
Ether? Let me take a whiff of that stuff. Woo. Here I come, dreamland. Woo.
That's enough, Charlie, that's enough.
That stuff makes me feel so dizzy, wizzy.
Let me smell it again. still say it's nigger pale polish.
I don't agree with you. I think it smells a little like a suction soda.
Give me another whiff of that, will you? Oh, Mr. Noble, I never knew you had two heads.
Oh, yes, old man. I always carry a spare.
Ooh, I'm so sleepy.
Let me take another whiff.
Let's all sniff.
Yeah. I still say it's Bransky.
Calling Dr. Pinkham. Dr. Pinkham, report to surgery. The sink is stopped out.
Where am I?
You're in a hospital.
In a hospital? Let me out of here.
But I'm your nurse.
Keep me in here. How'd I get in the hospital?
Don't you know?
Now, don't tell me the Start brought me.
Here comes your doctor.
Don't know why all my patients seem to die stormy weather. Tell me, my little Wiener Schnitzel, are you the patient?
Well, I'm not the bedpost.
You could have fooled me.
Yeah, well, who are you?
I am Dr. Streptococcus von Anderschlang, MD, COD.
And to you.
Tell me, nurse, is the patient making any progress?
Well, not with me, he isn't.
Well, I take a look at the shaft. Gallant Joe closed fast in the stretch, but he was no match for me. Oh, wrong shaft.
Yeah. What do you think's wrong with him, doctor?
I don't know. I give him a thorough examination. Let me see. Aha. So.
What's up, Doc?
You have got hardening of the art galleries, complicated by lumbar fandango, and delicious anemia.
What would you suggest we do, doctor?
Oh, we might as well operate. What have we got to lose?
Yeah, just me, that's all.
Now, Charlie, don't you worry. He won't cut very deep.
It doesn't make any difference how thin you slice it. It's still McCarthy.
Dr. von Underslung, is it a serious operation?
My dear girl, all my operations are serious. Now, don't you think you'd better boil the instrument?
Oh, let's fry him for a change.
Oh, pardon me. What are you doing, Doctor?
I am about to operate.
Oh, how jolly. May I cut in?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yes, please do. Grab a scalpel. I'm glad you dropped in. Maybe you can help me correct my slides.
Doctors, do you know what this patient is suffering from?
Well, if you ask me, I think it's wrong diagnosis and floating dialects.
How do you operate, Doctor?
Strictly cash in advance.
Dr. von Underslung wanted. Dr. von Underslung wanted in St. Louis, Chicago, New York. Reward.
I'm a very popular fellow.
Doctor, why do you have to operate at all on this boy?
Why, he can't live 5 minutes unless we operate. What's that?
That's lunch.
I see you after lunch, kid.
Hey, wait a minute. What's the idea?
Charlie, the folks here today were very nice to us, weren't they?
Yeah, they were really super. And so was Jane Wyman.
Yes. Hey, do you know who's going to be with us next week?
Oh, who?
Richard Widmark. You know the fellow who played that menacing gangster in the motion picture Kiss of Death?
Wow. I better start raising an extra crop of goose temples. Hey, good night, folks.
This is K.T.I, a member of the American Century Broadcasting System.
And now the news. A boxing match at the American Legion Stadium in Hollywood ended in chaos earlier tonight. Chairs were hurled into the ring and a fight broke out among angry fans. The exact cause is still unknown, but many spectators were clearly unhappy about Kid Galahad losing to the English fighter Albert Hammond. No serious injuries were reported. K.T.I Radio News.
K.T.I Radio, a service of the American Century Broadcasting System.
A cigarette made better. Bullseye smokes better than other leading brands. Satisfies the most. Yes, Bullseye cigarettes. It's the tobacco that matters. Independent tobacco experts know the people of Bullseye only select the freshest, most succulent cigarette tobacco. Fresh, clean moisture permeates every leaf of tobacco in every Bullseye brand cigarette. Mellow taste. Freshness. Medical science offers you proof positive. Bullseye is right on the money, with more refreshment and less throat-irritating tars. Naturally light, free and easy on the draw. It's why 9 out of 10 screen stars smoke Bullseye cigarettes. Bullseye Tobacco Company of Virginia.
Whether it's the working man, the housewife, or Junior, America's favorite radio station is K.T.I, broadcasting to Los Angeles and beyond.
The ACB Network presents National News from Washington.
In the nation's capital, railroad officials, screenwriters, and critics accompany Miss Ann Blythe of Hollywood as she goes aboard the George Washington for the first motion picture premiere on rails. The specially equipped Chesapeake and Ohio twin-unit diner serves 2 useful purposes. Eating is one of them, and then when the dishes have been cleared away and the shades drawn, the car is readily converted into a motion picture theater with seats for 50 persons. 2 projectors provide uninterrupted entertainment, and for the first night audience, the Chessie Theater presents Mark Hellinger's newest hit, Swell Guy. This is the last word in traveling luxury. Another step in the campaign to modernize American railroads. You don't have to miss that picture you wanted to see, nor your favorite star. Now you can see them underway on board the Theater on Rails.
K.T.I is a member of the American Century Broadcasting Network.
With affiliates in Los Angeles, California, New York, and Milwaukee, Wisconsin, this is American Century Broadcasting.
Cola King is the king in refreshment. Ice cold. Ask for it at your neighborhood fountain, or pick up some at your local grocer's in the easy take-home carton that holds 6 bottles. It's the quality drink that's as refreshing as it is delicious. The king of refreshment for that anytime thirst. The thirst of a king can be quenched for just a nickel. With Cola King.
You are listening to an American Century Broadcasting station. K.T.I, Los Angeles.
K.T.I Radio presents National News from Washington.
Boxing's on the card at St. Helena's Gym in the Bronx tonight. Golden Gloves Boxing. First round bouts in the sub-novice lightweight class, and it's strictly standing room only. Matteo Strapone takes the measure of Tony Perillo, for the time being, that is. Tony gets in a lick or 2 and seems to be able to absorb all that Matteo can dish out, which is plenty. But you can't tell about these amateurs. It's nip and tuck, hit or miss. And now it's Tony who finally gets a glove on Matteo's ribs, and that leads to trouble for both fighters. Up they come, and at it they go again. But it's about all over for Matteo Strapone. Next, we have Tony Marino and Harold Torrance. Same class, same vim and vigor. The youngster was game, but he was up against a couple of fists that packed a discouraging wallop. And the ref says, that's all.
K.T.I is a member of the American Century Broadcasting Network.
What girl doesn't enjoy ballroom dancing? And with K.T.I Radio in your living room, a girl can dance anytime. K.T.I Radio.
Are you removing film and reducing tooth decay with Dental Clean toothpaste? Dental Clean removes film and floats it away. No toothpaste or powder fights tooth decay like Dental Clean. No matter how many toothpastes you've tried, change to Dental Clean. If you're using the same toothpaste you used 2 years ago, you're missing the new brightness and the natural brilliance of your smile when it's Dental Clean. Dental Clean toothpaste or powder. Don't delay. Ask the druggist for Dental Clean today.
Broadcasting at 760 kilohertz. K.T.I Radio, American Century Broadcasting. K.T.I Radio reminds you an ounce of prevention saves many an emergency. Check to make sure your home has a first aid kit for safety.
From Hollywood, it's Dream Time. Ladies and gentlemen, the makers of Dream Shampoo are pleased to present the fifth in a series of new programs written by Phil Rapp, produced by Carlton Alsop, and starring Don Amici.
Blanche, let me sleep, will you?
Danny Thomas.
Just let him try and put me out of this phone booth, that's all.
And Francis Langford. And now Don Amici and Francis Langford as John and Blanche Bickerson with Danny Thomas as Brother Amos in The Honeymoon is Over. The Bickersons have retired. As usual, Mrs. Bickerson tosses restlessly, while her husband John, insomniac extraordinary, presents this audible testimony of his constant wakefulness. Listen.
For the love of heaven, what is he doing? John! What's the matter with you? You're making the most frightful noises. What's the matter?
What's the matter, Blanche?
Are you in pain?
I got a terrible headache. Haven't slept a wink.
You've been sleeping like a felled ox.
Head aches.
You wouldn't have such a headache if you didn't take so many cocktails before dinner. Why do you do that, John?
Always do it.
Why?
No good to eat on an empty stomach. Put out the lights, Blanche.
The lights are out, but how would you know anyway with that sleep shade on?
Well, something's flashing in my head. Oh.
Take an aspirin.
Okay. I feel better already.
How can you chew those things like that? Wash it down with something.
All right.
John Bickerson, you washed it down with bourbon.
You lied to me. You got the lights on.
Yes, I'm going to keep them on. Sit up. I want to talk to you.
Please, Blanche. I can't sit up. My head will fall off. Why'd you always have to talk in the middle of the night?
When else can I talk to you? You come home for dinner and bury your head in the paper, never a word out of you, and you tell me you have to go to bed early because you have insomnia.
Well, I have. Takes me hours to fall asleep.
It took you all of 30 seconds tonight.
Well, this was a good night. Good night.
John! John! I went over to see the Marvins' new baby this afternoon. It's a beautiful child. Do you know their first one is over a year old?
I hope so.
He's been walking since he was 8 months.
He must be awful tired. I am, too.
Children are such a blessing. It's wonderful to watch them grow up. You'd be surprised how many childless couples are adopting children.
I better have another aspirin. Boy, well, I got a headache.
John, don't you miss the patter of tiny feet around the house?
No, I don't, Blanche. Children are wonderful, all right, but you have to be able to afford them. All this talk of adopting... What the devil is that?
What's what?
That. Put the lights on.
John.
Blanche, don't tell me that you went out and...
It's only a dog, silly. I got a little puppy.
A dog? What do we need dogs for? Where's the aspirin? Why did you get a dog
now,
for?
Now, don't get hysterical.
Where is the little beast? I can hear it, but I can't see it.
He's right there in the bureau. I've got him in your shirt drawer.
You put him in there with my shirt?
He won't suffocate. The drawer's open.
Blanche, you know I'm allergic to dog hair. Gives me sinus trouble. Where's the aspirin?
You're just a big hypochondriac. You imagine those allergies like you do your insomnia.
I tell you, I'm allergic to dogs. They make me... You see? Get rid of that thing. He'll whine all night and keep me awake.
The man said he'll keep quiet if you give him one of those worm pills.
Well, where are they?
On the night table by your bed.
How do you give a dog... Where?
They're on the night table by your bed.
There's nothing here except the aspirins.
The aspirins are in the medicine cabinet.
Well, how can they be in the Blanche, what have I been eating? No wonder my headache won't go away. Why do you do these things to me? Send for a doctor.
Don't carry on so. If they're good for a dog, they won't hurt you. Go to sleep.
Go to sleep, she tells me. Here I am dying from dog poisoning. My head is splitting. But she knows I'm allergic to dogs. Hides the aspirin and makes... Shut up! I don't know. I get up so early. Never get another wink of sleep as long as...
John. Gesundheit.
Thanks.
I can see how much sleep I'm going to get tonight. We'll have to get rid of the puppy.
And now you're talking.
I want you to take him down to the dog pound.
Okay, I'll do it on my way to work.
You go in the opposite direction.
I'll go out of my way.
You say it, but you won't do it. You'd better take him now.
What?
Go on, get up. Take the puppy to the dog pound.
Blanche, are you out of your mind? It's after 2 in the morning.
They're open all night. Go on, get up and take him.
Why, I never heard of such a thing. You know, I went to bed with a splitting headache, and I had to take a dozen worm pills to fall asleep.
You take the dog to the pound quick enough if Gloria Gooseby asked you to.
How do you always manage to work the conversation around to Gloria Gooseby? Shut up!
Well, if you wouldn't shout so much, maybe the puppy would be able to sleep.
What's the use? Good night.
I thought it would be nice to have a little dog, especially when we move into our new apartment.
Still have a year to go on this one.
Our lease expired Friday.
I renewed it yesterday.
I canceled it this morning. Amos is raffling off the apartment for me.
That's a good idea. Amos is what?
Amos sold 500 tickets at $2 apiece, and the winner moves into our apartment tomorrow.
Oh, Blanche, no. No, I don't believe it. We'll be on the street.
Amos said he'll find us a new place in a jiffy.
Jiffy? Haven't you heard there's a housing shortage? Where will he find a place?
Well, I bought a ticket myself. It's a wonderful chance. Lovely 3-room apartment, large kitchen, big closets. It's worth $2, and we might get it.
Get it? We got it now!
I know, but even if we don't win, we get the $1,000 Amos collected for the rest of the tickets.
Look, Blanche, I gave the landlord a $1,200 bonus to renew the lease, so now I'm out $200 and I got no place to live.
Sounds like pretty poor business to me. Why do you make such deals?
Now, look, Blanche.
The trouble with you, John, is that you're too conservative.
Look, Blanche.
If you think up some of the deals that Amos has, we might be able to live as nicely as he does.
Blanche,
He's been living at the Biltmore Hotel for a year.
He sleeps on a billiard table. Look out, where's my slippers?
What are you going to do?
Let me get to that phone. I'll show you. Ooh, put on the lights.
The lights are on. Open your eyes.
Oh, there's the phone. I know it's going to ring, and I want to be ready when it does. Hello.
Excuse me.
I'm dead! Wait a minute. That wasn't Amos. Who? I'll get it. Amos.
Hi, Jocko. What are you doing up this time of night?
Packing, Amos. We're moving. Haven't you heard?
Well, aren't you going to invite me in? I'd like to look the place over.
You mean?
Yep. I won the raffle. The honest luck I ever saw.
Who drew the ticket, Amos?
Fair and square. I wouldn't take a chance having some phony draw it, so I drew it myself.
What a coincidence. Get out of here!
What's the matter with you, Jocko? You got $1,000 coming, and if you're worried about a place to live, I'll rent you the garage. You haven't got a car anymore.
Get out of here before I hit you with a cleaver.
Okay, Jocko, you don't have to get sore.
And you better give the money back to the people you sold tickets to, or you'll have a lot of explaining to do.
Not me, brother. You'll have to do the explaining. I'll tell them you won. Good night, Jocko.
That guy'll wind up on a chain gang as sure
Was
as...
it Amos? Who won?
I did. Now, at last, I can go to sleep in my own bed without worrying.
No, you can't, dear. The dog's in there.
Nuts. I'll sleep in the garage.
Ladies, there's still a worldwide shortage of fats and oils that you can help with by saving every drop of your kitchen fats every mealtime. Now, that's the way to help get more soap, more fabrics, and other peacetime products sooner. So save those fats. The need is urgent, the reason sound, and dealers now pay more per pound.
Broadcasting from Los Angeles, California, this is K.T.I Radio.
Hunger and starvation are the enemies of civilization and democracy. It's up to every American, man, woman, and child, to save a little food every day. And that way, the people of Western Europe can be helped in their fight for decency and freedom. Make sure your family does its part. Look for the bin at your local grocer's. Your help of some dry goods or preserves will help those who need it the most. Donate today, won't you? And be sure to buy your victory bonds, available at your favorite movie theater.
America is the lucky country, and California is one of the finest jewels in America's crown. A land warmed by the sun and cooled by the freshest ocean breezes. A place of potential and prosperity. I am Leyland Monroe, folks, and today my company, Elysian Fields Developments, is offering you a chance to own a small piece of this great land for yourself. We're building sturdy, spacious houses, 800-square-foot palaces on full half-acre blocks, perfect for families looking to make a new life in a burgeoning city. Plus, I guarantee that our prices will put a smile on your face. So call us now, Bradshaw 2215. Elysian Fields, a quarter-acre slice of victory.
K.T.I Los Angeles, Eugene C. Wendell Incorporated, broadcasting since 1922.
In the news, not since January 15th has the city of Los Angeles been rocked by such tragic and gruesome events. The LAPD confirms that a local woman, Celine Henry, has been found murdered near Echo Park. Like Betty Short, Henry was a woman in the bloom of her life. Like Betty Short, she was found unclothed and horrifically mutilated. The crime is quickly becoming known as the lipstick murder, due to messages scrawled on the victim's body in carmine lip paint. Could this be the werewolf killer claiming another Dahlia, or a product of the hysteria that caused over 50 people to confess to the Elizabeth Short murder? Only time will tell. And now, back to regular programming.
K.T.I Radio. Check local publications for times of your favorite programming, including the Los Angeles Mirror and the Los Angeles Inquisitor.
For 4 years, the brave men of our United States Armed Forces fought gallantly on distant foreign shores to secure our freedom and our future. Now we have our boys home again, and Elysian Fields Developments would like to help you to secure their future. I'm Leyland Monroe, and I'm here today to offer you every peacetime soldier's wildest dream. With our new house and land packages, your shining knight can rule his very own kingdom on a half-acre block right here in the heart of Los Angeles. These are modern, elegant houses, priced competitively, and they're just the right size to fit growing families like yours. So make the call on Bradshaw 2215. Elysian Fields, building the American dream.
K.T.I Los Angeles, reminding you to check our program listings in your local newspaper.
We go now to national news here on K.T.I.
20,000 pounds of highly dangerous metallic sodium head for destruction in Lake Lenoir, Washington. The government surplus chemical ignites and explodes when wet. The alkali lake is devoid of fish and forms an admirable disposal spot. A 3,500-pound container of sodium hurtles into the lake and crashes through a foot of ice. As the water seeps in, smoke rises through a series of muffled explosions. The acrid clouds billow several thousand feet over the steep sides of the lake. Disposal of the chemical by the War Assets Administration is made necessary because no public carrier will accept it for transportation to a purchaser. One after another, with varying effects, the containers go up with spectacular results as water and sodium meet. A once lethal war chemical becomes a peacetime pyrotechnic display.
K.T.I is a member of the American Century Broadcasting Network.
Day or night, K.T.I Radio has your news, comedy, drama, and the most popular music. This is K.T.I 760.
The Bullseye Cigarette Show, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, and Dennis Day.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go out to Jack Benny's home in Beverly Hills, where we find Rochester tidying up Jack's den.
Say, here's something the boss must have mislaid. It's a letter from the doctor who examined him, and it isn't open. I better take it to him.
John, without you, life isn't worth living.
Say, Mr. Benny, I found...
Quiet, Rochester. I'm listening.
John, how can you walk out on me after all we've been to each other?
I'm sorry, Agnes, but marriage isn't for us. It just wouldn't work.
It serves me right. I should have listened to my father.
Your father. If he kept his nose out of it, things might have been different.
Oh, they would, eh? Well, if I never see your face again, it will be all right with me. Goodbye.
That suits me fine. Goodbye.
Gee, this party line is better than a radio. No commercials. Hey, what do you want, Rochester? Quiet, Polly. What is it, Rochester?
I found this letter from your doctor. It says, the results of your examination show the following. Your blood pressure is normal, your heart is perfect, your lungs clear, your blood count average, and you're in perfect condition. The doctor must have sent you this by mistake.
Nonsense, Rochester. I feel wonderful. There's no mistake. Read on.
You're in perfect condition. I want to congratulate you and hope it's a boy.
What? Rochester, let me see that report. You see? There, it was sent to the wrong address.
Phew.
Rochester, stop holding my hand. I'm all right. I'll get it. Well, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack.
Gee, Mary, it's good to see you again. Everybody missed you last week.
Well, it was nice of you to let me go back to Plainfield for Mom and Papa's 40th anniversary.
Anniversary.
Hello, Polly.
Well, hello, you.
Poor Polly, she doesn't know she's a girl. How was the anniversary party, Mary?
Well, Jack, it was such a gay party. Somebody sneaked in and spiked the punch with bourbon.
No kidding. You know who did it?
Yeah, Papa.
Oh.
And, Jack, you should have been there to see my sister Babe. She's very fashionable now. She's got that new look.
Shame she's got those old parts. Mary, what are you doing?
I'm reading this letter from your doctor.
Oh, that. It was just...
Why, Jack, so that's why you couldn't go to Claudette's party.
That letter was sent here by mistake. Rochester, answer the door, will you, please? I still can't understand what happened last week, Mary. Ronald Coleman called me, invited me over to his house for a costume party. When I got there was no party at all.
Something wrong, Mr. Benny?
No, Dennis. It's nothing that would interest you.
Hello, Mary.
Hello, Dennis. Do you want to see me?
Uh-huh. You know, I sure missed you, Mary. I thought about you every single day while you were gone.
Really?
Yeah, you went off with the keys to my car.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dennis. I have them in my purse.
Dennis, stop reading that letter. It's from my doctor.
Why are you keeping it a secret? You should be very happy.
Dennis, don't be silly. That's a mistake.
But the letter says...
I don't care what the letter says. It's impossible.
Oh, yeah, you're not even married.
Yes, I'm glad you figured it out.
Say, Jack, are we going to rehearse the program this afternoon like we always do?
No, Mary, I put it off till tomorrow. I have to go down to the Motor Vehicle Bureau and have my driver's license renewed. It expired over a month ago. You know, when I go to a bar, they always ask me if I'm over 21, you know. Anyway, Dennis, we'll have our rehearsal tomorrow. Your voice is better than ever. I suppose you'd be another Edward G. Robinson or a Ronald Coleman.
It was awfully nice of you to say that, old fellow.
Look, stop with those silly imitations, Dennis. You don't sound like Coleman at all.
Well, you thought so last week when I called and invited you to a party.
What? You were the one that called me and disguised your voice like Ronald Coleman? Dennis, answer me. Answer me!
Jack, take your foot out of his mouth.
Dennis, how could you do a thing like that to me? Now I realize what a fool I made of myself last week. I don't blame Ronnie for being mad at me. I better call him up and apologize. What a foolish thing that was.
The Ronald Coleman residence?
Hello, is Mr. Coleman there?
Who shall I say is calling?
Jack Benny.
One moment, please.
You know, I feel better already. I mean, I'll explain everything to Ronnie. He'll understand. We'll be friends again. After all, we do have so much.
Hello?
Hello, Ronnie?
This is the butler again, sir.
Well, did you tell Mr. Coleman that I'm on the phone?
Yes, sir, and it's the first time he ever hit me.
Hit you? What's come over him?
I don't know, sir, but when I mentioned your name, he screamed, Jack Benny, Jack Benny. And then he mumbled something about dropping dead.
Well, never mind. I'll just write a note and stick it in his laundry bundle. Goodbye.
Goodbye, sir.
What happened, Jack?
Nothing. Ronnie wasn't in. Dennis, I can't get over it. How in the world could you think of pulling a trick like that?
Well, I don't want to take all the credit, Mr. Benny. Phil Harris helped me think of it.
What?
In fact, it was his idea.
Let me at that phone again. Now fix it. Imagine two guys getting together.
Now, Phil Harris is residence. Algernon, the butler speaking.
Butler? Phil has a butler.
Why not? He's got 2 shows, you know.
I know. Let me talk to Mr. Harris.
Okay. Keep your shirt on.
Some butler. What I'm going to tell Phil is plenty.
Mr. Harris, social secretary speaking.
A butler and a social secretary. Having 2 shows certainly gone to his head. Put Mr. Harris on the phone, please.
Just a minute. I'll stop fanning him.
Tell Mr. Harris I want to talk to him.
Okay. Hey, Maharaja, get up off that Persian rug. You want it on the phone.
Okay. Alice, you can take off that veil and stop dancing.
How do you like a guy like that? Hello? Phil, this is Jack.
Oh, hiya, Jackson. What kind of a vitamin pill is holding you up today?
Never mind. There's something I want to talk to you about.
What is it?
Phil, did you put Dennis up to playing that trick on me last week?
Oh, you found out about it, huh? Pretty good, eh, Jackson?
Pretty good. Let me tell you something.
I knew that when we did it, you'd appreciate the humor behind it.
Look, Phil.
You're the kind of a man who can recognize the basic fundamentals of satiristical comedy.
I am?
Yes, sir. That's why the name Jack Benny is regarded by millions of people as the ultimate in the field of entertainment.
Well, I certainly appreciate it.
That's okay. Goodbye, Jackson.
Goodbye, Phil. Oh, Phil, I got the most wonderful news to... Oh, I keep forgetting that letter was sent here by mistake. Goodbye, Phil. Now, come on with me, Mary. I got to go downtown and get my driver's license. Hey, here comes Don Wilson.
I hope I'm not late for rehearsal, Jack.
Oh, Don, I should have called you. We're not rehearsing until tomorrow because I have to go and get my driver's license renewed.
Well, Jack, this whole thing only takes a minute, and we might as well rehearse the commercial while I have the quartet here.
Oh, the sportsmen? Where are they?
Right behind me.
Oh. Hello, fellas. You know, boys, you shouldn't always be walking behind Don. I mean, you're getting pale. You need a little sunshine. Look, Don, I'm really in a hurry. Come on, Mary. I got to get downtown. Here it is, Mary. Department of Motor Vehicles. Oh, here's the girl over here taking the application.
Can I help you, sir?
Yes. I came here about my driver's license.
My, how'd you ever think of this place?
Well, you were recommended by some pedestrian, you see. This is one of the places they told me to go. Now, miss, my license is expired, and I want to get a new one.
All right. Your name?
Jack Benny.
Name, Jack Benny. Sex, male.
Yeah, but they had him worried this morning.
Married.
What's your height?
5 feet 10.
Weight?
157.
Hair?
$1.98.
She doesn't mean that. She means the color. Miss, my hair is sort of a palomino gray.
Oh, yes. I noticed you're wearing a side saddle. Your eyes?
A lazy lagoon blue.
All right. Take this application and get in line at window 3 for your eye test.
Thank you. Come on, Mary. I got to go to window 3.
Yes, sir. Right over here. Your name.
Thank you. This is where I take my eye test, isn't it?
Yes. Now, can you read the 3rd line on that chart?
Not very well without my glasses.
Can you read the 2nd line?
Oh, yes. It says...
Would you mind taking a step back?
Not at all. Why?
You're supposed to be at least 1 foot away from the chalk.
Oh, yes. Now, what do I do next?
You have to take your road test. Go right through that door to the street.
Thank you. Come on, Mary.
Who takes the next driving test?
I do. Mary, you wait here. I'll be back in a minute.
Follow me.
I hope I won't be nervous. I haven't driven in an awfully long time. This is my car right here.
Now, before we start, I want to find out how much you know about a car.
Yes, sir.
Now, where's your gasoline tank?
In the rear.
Your gauge?
38.
What?
Oh, I thought you said my age. The gauge is on the dashboard.
All right, Mr. Benny. Start the car.
Yes, sir. The motor must be cold.
Shall I crawl underneath and light a can of Sterno?
No, I'll try it again. Well, we're running along smoothly now. Is there anything in particular you'd like me to do?
Yes, get off the sidewalk.
Oh, pardon me. We're okay now. And I want you to know that I can really drive better than this, but I'm a little nervous with an inspector in the car.
I understand. Now try and keep your mind on your driving, Mr. Benny.
I will.
See that big truck in front of you?
Which one?
That one. You can take your head out of the windshield now.
Look, Inspector, I can explain the whole thing. It's just that I was...
What's the matter with you? Can't you see where you're going, you dumb ox?
What?
You heard me. I got a good notion to haul off.
Lead him, driver!
Yeah, slug him.
Wait a minute, driver. We ought to be ashamed of ourselves. Standing here arguing when on our feet lies a poor little dog. Come here, puppy. Up into my arms. Were you hurt bad?
He's a nice guy.
Yeah. Anybody that loves dogs is okay with me.
Poor little puppy.
Hey, you know, Bud, you really are a nice guy. I had you all wrong. I'm sorry I flew off the handle.
Oh, it's all right.
I'll see that my insurance company fixes up your car.
Thanks. Come on. Come on, puppy. Let's go home now.
Jack, I just heard a crash. Are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine. Come on, let's get out of here.
Okay, but I thought maybe... Jack, what's that you've got cuddled up in your arms?
My toupee. Come on. Let's get out of here. Come on, let's get out.
K.T.I always broadcasts your up-to-the-minute farm information. Now, this farm report. California citrus farmers note that there is a frost warning overnight and are urged to take preventative measures.
What's that?
That's the lemon wash whistle. That means pots and pans are lemon wash clean. It makes short work of dirt and cooking grime. Just a swish of the dish rag gets them sparkling clean. Try it.
Wow, these pots sure are clean.
See? You'll be whistling too at how easy it is to clean up after dinner with lemon wash. Lazy old-fashioned soaps require scrubbing and elbow grease. Lemon wash cuts grease and takes it right down the drain. And since lemon wash removes spots from pots and pans, use it to remove the grease spots that occasionally get on clothes and that moths love to feed upon. Easy, quick lemon wash. Just listen for the whistle. The lemon wash whistle means it's gotta be clean. Lemon wash all-purpose cleaner.
Greeting you from Los Angeles, California. K.T.I Radio, 760.
We go to Washington now with national news from American Century Broadcasting.
Calling Calling the House Un-American Activities Committee to order, Chairman J. Parnell Thomas of New Jersey opens an inquiry into possible communist penetration of the Hollywood film industry. The committee is seeking to determine if Red Party members have reached the screen with subversive propaganda. Mr. Thomas takes an impartial stand in his opening talk.
I want to emphasize at the outset of these hearings that the fact that the Committee on Un-American Activities is investigating alleged communist influence and infiltration in the moving picture industry must not be considered or interpreted as an attack on the industry itself. Nor should our investigation be interpreted as an attack on the majority of persons associated with this great industry. I have every confidence that the vast majority of movie workers are patriotic and loyal Americans.
A long list of prominent motion picture witnesses appear before the committee. Speaking for the films, Eric Johnston, president of the Motion Picture Association, talks frankly concerning the attitude of the producers.
We are accused of having communists and communist sympathizers in our employ. Undoubtedly, there are such persons in Hollywood, as you will find elsewhere in America. But we neither shield nor defend them. We want them exposed. We're not responsible for the political or economic ideas of any individual, but we are responsible for what goes on the screen. We guard that with great care. If communists have attempted to inject their propaganda into the motion picture, they have failed miserably. We will never permit them to succeed.
K.T.I is a member of the American Century Broadcasting Network.
The first high-power, clear-channel, 50,000-watt radio station in the West. K.T.I Radio.
Friends, quality is an American trait, and Americans recognize quality whether they're in New York, Milwaukee, Chicago, or Los Angeles. The same goes for quality beer. Take Lennox beer, for example, perfect for quitting time. Or any time. Lennox beer is a cool breeze in a bottle. During hot summer days, it's the welcome relief you deserve. Its high-quality taste quenches your thirst, and you can get that cool breeze all over the world. That's because the world recognizes good taste. It's the best-selling beer in all 48 United States. Lennox, America's finest beer.
Hits of the week, chart toppers, and variety shows. This is K.T.I Radio.
K.T.I Radio News. An LAPD vice detective has been exposed as a man with a few vices of his own. Cole Phelps, a war hero who was awarded the prestigious Silver Star, is being sued for divorce by his wife after being caught in an illicit affair with a German drug addict. The LAPD issued a statement saying that Detective Phelps has let down not just his family, but also the department and people he swore to serve. He will face a review board in December. This is K.T.I Radio News.
Keep listening to K.T.I Radio for your favorite dramas, comedies, soap operas, and game shows. K.T.I Radio.
Ladies, how often does this happen in your kitchen?
Gosh, Mom, pancakes. That smells awful good.
Yes, fresh pancakes made with Mullingar flour. Mullingar makes it so easy. Just add milk and those tender, delicious pancakes are ready after a few minutes on the griddle. In fact, Mullingar flour can be used for breakfast, lunch, and supper. For meals that are satisfying, good eating, and make your mouth water, use Mullingar flour. Milled by the same family for generations, Mullingar flour was the first to use steel rollers to process grain into the high-quality flour moms love.
Mom, we're out of Mullingars.
You can cheer up, son. Call the grocer. A new shipment of Mullingar flour arrives every week. Mullingar flour.
KTI features the best live programming and transcribed shows. KTI 760.
From Hollywood, it's Dreen time. Ladies and gentlemen, the makers of Dreen Shampoo are pleased to present The Dreen Show, produced by Carlton Alsop and starring Don Amici.
Let me sleep, will you please, Blanche?
Danny Thomas.
It's a free country, I'm a citizen.
And Francis Langford. Yes, for lovely, lustrous hair, for all types of hair, use Dreen Shampoo. D-R-E-N-E, Dreen shampoo in the familiar blue and yellow package. And now Don Amici and Francis Langford as John and Blanche Bickerson in The Honeymoon is Over, written by Phil Rapp.
If he doesn't stop it, I'll die. Oh, I've tried everything. I've rolled him over, I've snapped my fingers, I've uncovered... They say if you whistle in a monotone, maybe that'll work.
Blanche, wake up.
What's the matter?
Turn over your side. You're whistling.
I know I'm whistling. It's the only way I can stop you from snoring.
No, it's just your imagination. I never snore. Go to sleep.
John! Don't take it too lightly, John Bickerson. It's habits like that wrecks more homes than drinking.
It doesn't wreck my drinking.
Nothing could wreck your drinking. Is it any wonder we can't afford even the bare necessities of life when you squander every penny on that stuff?
I never squander anything.
I was cleaning up yesterday and I found an empty bourbon bottle in the laundry hamper.
What about it?
I found another empty bottle under the icebox and 2 more empty bottles in the chandelier. That's where your money goes, isn't it?
It is not. I never bought an empty bottle in my life.
I worked like a slave to save $1. Never a word of gratitude. I spend half my life cooking your meals, and what do I get for it? Nothing.
You're lucky. I get indigestion.
That's right. Complain about my cooking.
Oh, I eat everything you give me.
You didn't touch the rhubarb pie I made.
Well, it didn't look good. 2 feet long.
Well, I couldn't get any shorter rhubarb.
I hate rhubarb anyway. I hate all desserts, and you know it. Why don't you quit wasting your time making them?
The minute I stop making desserts, you'll start asking for them. I know you, John. You're just the most contrary person
Blanche,
that
will
ever...
you please stop talking?
No.
Why not?
Because if I stop talking, I'll fall asleep, and then you'll start snoring and get me up, so the only way I can get any sleep at all is to stay awake all night.
Now, go figure that one out.
Besides, I'm too sick to sleep.
Uh-oh.
I don't think I'll live through the night. I'm in such terrible pain.
What's the matter now?
I've got neuralgia or something. The pain starts in my temple and goes down my face, and it jabs like a needle. Then I get dizzy, and I feel as though I'm going to fade away.
You say it, but you won't do it.
Why don't you do something for me and end my misery? I told you I'm dying.
Okay, put on the lights.
The lights are on. Take off your sleep shade.
Oh. Where do you keep your stockings?
Stockings? What do you want my stockings for?
You want me to end your misery, don't you? Give me a stocking.
John, you're going to strangle me.
Oh, I'm not going to strangle you.
Then what do you want my stocking for?
I'm going to soak it in bourbon. The finest remedy in the world.
John Bickerson, you're not going to tie any bourbon-soaked stocking around my face.
You don't tie it, you chew it slowly. You start at the toe and gradually work your way up to the top.
Is that supposed to put me to sleep?
No, but it'll make it a pleasure to stay awake. Now, where's the bourbon?
I don't want it. I don't want you trying out those insane remedies on me.
All right, then suffer. Put out the lights.
How can anybody be so unfeeling?
Well, I'm sleepy, and it's after 3 o'clock. You won't let me help you? You just want to keep me awake, don't you? Why don't you admit it?
I'm sick.
Well, chew a stocking.
You wouldn't tell Gloria Gooseby to chew a stocking.
Oh, now, don't start with Gloria Gooseby.
Believe me, that woman knows how to get sympathy and attention.
Blanche, can't I spend one day of my life without Gloria Gooseby?
Is that where you've been spending your days?
I forbid you to ever mention that woman's name again as long as you live. Do you hear me? And you know where I am every minute of my life.
What time did you get in tonight?
I got in at 2 o'clock. I went to a bachelor dinner given for your broken-down brother Amos, who's going to get married tomorrow. We went all through this when I got home, didn't we?
You didn't tell me what happened at the bachelor dinner.
Nothing happened. Just a lot of men smoking and swapping stories.
No women?
No women.
How'd you get the lipstick on your collar?
It isn't lipstick, it's blood. I cut myself shaving tonight.
You didn't shave tonight.
Well, then I cut it yesterday.
You put on a clean shirt before you left. How'd the blood get on that?
I'm a slow bleeder. What are you driving at, Blanche?
Don't act so innocent. I know all about these bachelor dinners. Don't tell me there were only bachelors there.
There were all married men and only one bachelor, your brother Amos.
No women?
No women. If you knew all about bachelor dinners, why didn't you make a party for them right here in your own house?
Because I'm not entertaining this season.
You're never entertaining.
Maybe I'm not. Not as much as those dancers at bachelor dinners.
Nobody danced. All we did was give a word of advice to a young man about to get married.
What was your word of advice?
Don't.
Sure. That's just like you to discourage my poor brother before he gets married. He's got a lovely girl and he's a wonderful boy. They'll get along beautifully. What right did you have to discourage him?
Oh, I didn't discourage him. Everybody kidded him.
You hate being married, don't you?
No, I don't hate it.
You don't like it.
I wouldn't say that.
Why not, John?
It'll only start another argument. Why don't you let me sleep, Blanche? I have to get up so early in the morning.
We'd be much happier if you'd talk to me more. Mel Shaw tells Louise everything that happens.
Oh, what of it? I tell you lots of things that never happen at all.
You'll never convince me. You just sat around tonight smoking and telling stories.
I swear that's all there was to it, Blanche. Except after the speeches were over, Amos awarded a high silk hat to any man who could get up and say he never kissed any woman except his wife since they were married. Mel Shaw won it.
Why didn't you stand up?
Oh, Blanche, you know I look like the devil in a high hat.
I don't know, John. You're certainly not the same man I married.
Don't tell me there's a loophole.
See, that's exactly what I mean. No matter how I try to be soft and pleasant to you, you'll always say some sarcastic remark and start an argument again.
Well, I'm just sleepy.
When we were engaged, you were never sleepy. All you wanted to do was hold my hand and stare at me. You said I was on your mind every minute of the day and night. You couldn't think of anything but me.
Well, I married you, didn't I?
What for?
So I could forget you.
That's no lie. Here you are running off every night to smokers and bachelor dinners. Leave me here all alone with no friends.
Oh, I never leave you alone.
Let me spend the rest of my days in solitude, growing old and feeble, nobody to give me any food and no strength to walk to the kitchen.
Blanche.
Why don't you get me a wheelchair, John?
Why don't you stop getting hysterical? Instead of 10 seconds, you made yourself 90 years old. You're just trying to start something again.
Nothing would ever start if you didn't snore like a steamboat.
Well, can I help it if I snore?
Yes, you can. Dr. Marvin says you snore on account of your windpipe.
Yeah.
You have a flaccid trachea, and when you inhale, it flutters. Why don't you let him fix it?
Okay, I'll have it fixed next week.
You say it, but you won't do it. Let him fix it now.
What?
Go on, get up and let Dr. Marvin pull out your trachea.
Are you out of your mind? Do you think I'm going to let that butcher bore holes in my throat?
He doesn't bore, he just inflates it with a needle.
I don't care if he blows it up with a bicycle pump. Nobody's going to fool around with my trachea. I never heard of such a thing.
Well, go sleep in the kitchen.
All right, I'll go sleep in the kitchen.
And on your way, I want you to send a wire to Amos and tell him marriage is good for him.
Now, wait a minute, Blanche.
I'm warning you, John. If you don't wire Amos this minute, I'll get my things.
All right. I swear you can think of more things to keep me. Oh, my knee. Oh, put on the lights.
The lights are on. Take off your sleep shade.
Sending wires at 4 o'clock in the morning to... Hello, Western Union. I want to send a wire to Amos Badger. Carry United Nations Pool Hall. Yes, that's where he lives.
Make it a nice telegram.
Say, Dear Amos, congratulations on your forthcoming marriage. You're doing the wise and sensible thing, and life will take on a new meaning for you. I only hope that you and your bride will be as happy as Blanche and I have been. I heartily recommend the serious step you're about to take. Just a minute. You want to add anything, Blanche? Blanche. Hello? Say, P.S. Blanche just fell asleep. Stay single, you idiot. Signed, John. And now here is Don Amici wishing you good days, good nights, and good luck until we meet again.
Why isn't there more soap? Well, because adequate supplies of soap, fabrics, medicines, and many products can't be made without more fats than are available today. That's why everyone is urged to save every drop of kitchen fat every day. The need is urgent, the reason sound, and dealers now pay more per pound.
The American Century Broadcasting Company salutes our veterans and reminds you to check with your local real estate agent for exclusive homes reserved for our soldiers. New homes beginning at $5,000.
And now, news from Washington.
Polish girls arrive at Montreal, Canada in a post-war labor experiment by a Canadian industrialist. The girls are part of a group of 100 who will work in a rayon mill at Saint-Georges-de-Beauce, where they will receive the Dominion's minimum wage of $12 a week. The displaced girls, brought from Frankfurt, will be taught the rayon spinning process and are under contract for 2 years, during which time they'll be lodged in a convent school. Here they will pay $6.50 of their wages for board and lodging. They at least are no longer among Europe's wanderers. On the reverse side, the steamship Radnik waits at Montreal to repatriate 500 Yugoslavs who prefer to try life under Tito. They're not leaving empty-handed. Among them, they have pooled $1 million for the purchase of some rather exclusive commodities. Whether or not life in the Western Hemisphere has been congenial, it is certain that their toil has been rewarded. And so these people return to a native land changed by war and ideology.
K.T.I is a member of the American Century Broadcasting Network.
K.T.I Radio plays the top songs that are popular all over America, as determined by the best sellers in sheet music and phonograph records.
Friends, what is the secret soap that the most lovely Hollywood stars use to preserve daintiness? Pandora brand toilet soap, the complexion soap, gentle white and so fragrant. It's perfect for a daily beauty bath. Leaves skin really fresh and sweet, and you feeling exquisitely clean from head to foot. Just try the Hollywood beauty bath with Pandora and you'll see why. Pandora brand soap's got that creamy, active lather that's soothing and gentle on your skin. Why, Pandora is 7 ways better than old-style floating soaps. Take a tip from Hollywood. Make Pandora your daily bath soap. Pandora lathers twice as fast, even in the hardest water. It's a luxury that any woman can afford. Just a few cents a cake. Now that's thrifty. With its flower-like fragrance, it's a Hollywood secret. Ask your grocer for Pandora brand soap today.
Your favorite orchestras and the most popular songs in the land. K.T.I Radio.
Let's take a quick intermission for news from Washington.
Seized in a hideaway in the Chicago suburb of Skokie, Illinois, confiscated pinball machines finally take the rap. They dished it out plenty, but they can't take it. One-armed bandits take a beating. It's all part of a $40,000 jackpot hit by the state's attorney, which caused the indictment of 6 local officials. The funeral pyre is all set, but where are the mourners? Well, guess the boys will have to go back to Penny Ante.
K.T.I is a member of the American Century Broadcasting Network.
K.T.I Los Angeles and Eugene C. Wendell Incorporated would like to thank you for your continued patronage. Keep listening to K.T.I, your hometown radio station. K.T.I Radio reminds you to immunize your child today. Only with your help and eternal vigilance can these diseases be eradicated.
Let's turn, shall we, during this brief intermission to an interesting situation. You wake up in the morning feeling weak. It could be a deficiency of iron. Iron you need for healthy blood and bones. That's why it's time to rise and shine. Yes, Rise and Shine yeast keeps your body physically fit. Your body requires iron daily. And what better way to give you the iron you need than Rise and Shine yeast in your breads and cakes? Rise and Shine yeast is a natural source of vitamins. Physician studies show 3 out of 4 women lack sufficient iron. If you are losing weight, feeling run down, weak, or easily upset, get the vigor and pep you need by using Rise and Shine yeast and by taking Rise and Shine yeast tablet supplements. It helps regain strength and needed pounds to feel and do your best. Go to your grocer or druggist and say,
Rise and Shine, please.
We now return you to regular programming.
This is K.T.I Radio with this public service announcement. Juvenile delinquency is an ever-growing problem. The LAPD advises all parents to send their children to Sunday school and take them to church. The finest in radio entertainment is on K.T.I Radio 760.
In news, an update in the gruesome red lipstick murder case. After initial interest in the victim's husband, a Jacob Henry, police investigated reports of a mystery associate with Celine Henry on her last fateful night. Tracking down Mendez's apartment, detectives found his sick store of bloodied weapons and clothing, and soon apprehended the suspect. He continues to deny responsibility for the crime. The werewolf has yet to be brought to justice, but residents can be safe in the knowledge that one more killer is off the streets. We now return you to our regular programming.
The most well-known radio singers and orchestras are heard here on K.T.I.
Now, national news.
Officially opening the nationwide March of Dimes campaign in Washington, Mrs. Truman and her daughter Margaret take part in the ceremonies at the Capitol by dropping theirs and the president's dimes in the Missouri bottle. Ms. Truman later made an appeal for contributions to the Infantile Paralysis Fund drive to replace $7.5 million spent during the severe 1946 epidemics. And in New York, little Nancy Drury with the big cop was once a polio victim, but now she's the pin-up girl for the current campaign, seeking to raise $25 million. Little Miss Drury of Louisville, Kentucky, and her 6'8" escort see the town. At Radio City, thousands watch the ceremony, where they see 49 war hero homing pigeons, which symbolize the 48 states and the District of Columbia taking part in the drive. The keys to the city from Mayor O'Dwyer go to Nancy. Give to the March of Dimes.
K.T.I is a member of the American Century Broadcasting Network.
K.T.I Radio Los Angeles plays the songs you want to hear, the most heard on the air, and the songs most played on automatic coin machines are right here. Now, this safety message on K.T.I. Play safe with your valuables. Don't keep them at home. Instead, hire a safe deposit box at your local banking institution. It's for your protection.
Delicious and creamy Spencer's Root Beer is your producer of this special broadcast. Yes, today and every day, Spencer's Root Beer provides you with a front row seat to America's favorite radio entertainment. The bubbles dance in the glass and on the tongue, smooth as satin. There's no need to put up with flavorless wartime brands. 8 out of 10 say Spencer's tastes more delicious. So while you sit back and relax, enjoy America's root beer of choice with a frosty glass of Spencer's.
The tunes you love to whistle, you hear them on K.T.I Radio. We're your favorite radio station.
And now, national news from American Century Broadcasting.
Capitol Hill in Washington is again the nation's focal point as the 80th Congress convenes during one of the most crucial periods in the nation's history. Following the Republican landslide of 1946, the GOP now possesses a clear working majority in both branches of Congress. The Capitol awaits the arrival of President Truman to deliver his message. He shakes hands with Senator Vandenberg, President Pro Tem of the Senate, and Speaker Martin, both presiding over the joint session. Each receives a copy of the President's address. Mr. Truman confronts a Congress heavily weighted by the opposition. he delivers his message on the State of the Union.
In the effort to bring about a sound and equitable price structure, each group of our population has its own responsibilities. It is up to industry not only to hold the line on existing prices, but to make reductions whenever profits justify such action. It is up to labor to refrain from pressing for unjustified wage increases that will force increases in the price level. This is an age when unforeseen attack could come with unprecedented speed. We must be strong enough to defeat and thus forestall any such attack. For these reasons, we need well-equipped, well-trained armed forces, and we must be able to mobilize rapidly our resources in men and material for our own defense should the need arise. Let us have the will and the patience to do this job together. May the Lord strengthen us in our faith. May He give us wisdom to lead the peoples of the world in His ways of peace.
K.T.I is a member of the American Century Broadcasting Network. Thank you for listening to K.T.I Radio, serving California and the West Coast with music and variety.